Good afternoon. Today is the 14th of September, and it's time to do what we do every month and look at the top 10 best-selling cars of August 2023. Traditionally, August was the biggest selling month for new cars in this country. These days, obviously, it's not at all. September and March tend to be the biggest selling months for the reasons that the new plate comes around twice a year. However, if I look at the statistics over the past, 15 years or so, there's only actually ever been 3 times in August that the 2023 figure has been surpassed. And this is unusual, which is 2018, 2019, 2020. 2020 was a very unusual year in that a lot of registrations of cars were delayed for quite a long time due to the pandemic and things like that. So discounting that, 18 and 19 were actually very big months. So it's not actually as bad as it looks, certainly much better than 2021, 2022. So we might actually see now, because we are roughly at the same level as, something like 2020, just below 2019, that the new car registrations come into alignment with what they would have been had we had no pandemic. And then the second-hand car prices will start to fall. I'm just speculating, but that could possibly be what happens. I use the terms registration and sales interchangeably pretty much. Obviously, if you go into a showroom now and you order a new car and you have to wait a few months, it will be registered when it arrives. So we sort of count the registration as a sale in that way. It's just easier for me to say sale than registration all the time. So let's start by looking at the private fleet and business sectors, as we always do. Now, the private sector, for whatever reason, there's actually been a decrease. However, with the fleet and business sectors, there have been substantial increases. In August 2022, 35,000 cars sold. Last month, 32,000, which is an 8.1% decrease. The market share has decreased as well from 51% to 37%. But traditionally, the fleet sector made up a huge number of sales in this country. So maybe it's not unusual. Maybe that's why we've seen overall a 24% increase between 2022 and 2023 in August. Fleet sector market share was about 47%. It's now 61%. Percentage change is about 58% increase. It's gone from 33,000 in August 2022 to 52,000 last month, which is massive. Business sector is not really a huge amount of cars in our market. So, perhaps this is academic, but the market share has increased from 1.7 to 1.9%. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,200 to 1,600, which is actually a 39% increase. So that's really good. So we go on to the power source mix. There's a reason we didn't talk about diesel on this channel, viewers, is because they just don't make up a very big proportion of new car sales at all. In fact, it's a tiny proportion. It's far less from plug-in hybrids now. It's actually about a tenth of the petrol cars sold. A tenth. So yeah, it's gone from 6.5% to 4.3%. Percentage change is minus 18. Number of cars sold has gone from about 4,500 to 3,600 between the two dates in August. Petrol has actually been an increase. Now, before you start getting really excited about this, it's because the overall market is up by 24%. So a 9.8% increase results in a market share that's also declined from 46% to 41%. The number of cars sold, though, has gone up from 32,000 to 35,000. The mild hybrid forbidden fuel vehicles are even more in decline. It was a sort of way that they had for a while, I suppose it still applies now, of trying to get forbidden fuel cars under these new emissions targets and things like that. Much more successful with petrol ones, as we'll see, but there are still some of these around. Market share last August was 3.7%. It's now 2.2% last month, so they're disappearing fast. Percentage change is 24% decrease. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,500 to 1,900. Mild hybrid petrols, though, 55% increase. Virtually every manufacturer now has a mild hybrid. Renault's got them, Kia's got them, Volkswagen's got them, Hyundai, Kia, just everybody got these. They're a very sort of cost-effective way of making cars compliant with legislation, or just showing that they're doing something. Your decision about that is, up to you. For not a lot of kind of engineering change, as opposed to a plug-in hybrid or a full hybrid. The whole hybrids are much more technically complicated than these. So yeah, 12% of the market to 15%, 55% increase, 8,300 cars to 12,900. It's a very big increase. Electric cars, even bigger increase. It's not surprising that actually the used market is starting to become flooded with electric cars now. There's so many of them around. In fact, they make up 20% of the market now, which is 5 times the number of forbidden fuel cars. Just the pure electric ones. Market share has gone from 14.5% to 20%, 72% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 10,000 to 17,000. Plug-in hybrids still increasing. Market share from 5.6% to 7.7%, 70% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,000 to 6,600. The hybrid, the full hybrid, I hate the word self-charging hybrid. I never would use that term, because a hybrid by definition is self-charging. It just is. Like, you could apply that to other types of hybrid as well, but I'm not going to get too annoyed about that. We'll just call them standard hybrids or full hybrids. Both terms are perfectly acceptable to me. Not really a huge percentage change, and actually the market share slightly dropped with these from about 12% to 10%, but the number of cars sold has gone from 8,000 to 8,500. So it's just due to the overall market being up. Now we'll look at the best-selling cars. This is what you clicked on the video for, isn't it? So first place, no surprise whatsoever, Ford Puma, 2336. Second place, Tesla Model Y. No surprise again here. It must be one of those months that a shipment of Teslas has come into the country, because Tesla UK own all the dealerships over here. It's not a franchise model, so they all get registered at the same time. There's only a very limited number of registration prefixes. I think L, A, and possibly some M prefixes, which would be East Anglia, London, and Manchester. I haven't seen too many other prefixes for Teslas, so they're all registered in a batch. That's why the figures are also skewed. So 2336 for the Puma, the Model Y 2313, the Corsa, which was last year's best-selling car, 1941. It probably won't be the best-selling car this year. The Cougar 1779, then the Mocha in 5th position, 1763. It's very close from now on. And the Model 3. So yeah, absolutely, the boats come in literally. 1698. Behind a Tucson, no stranger to the top 10, 1597. The Volkswagen T-Roc, which is outselling the Polo and the Golf at the moment, in 8th position, 1572. The Fiesta's come back in, although production of those cars ended very recently, a couple of months ago, in fact. They are just registering the last ones that are coming in, and I'm sure they're giving some good deals on them. So yes, a welcome re-entry to top 10, probably for the last time, to Fiesta, 1538, and the Audi A3, Yeah, that's apparently now the best-selling car in its class. People keep saying that Audis are premium cars. They're not. If your car outsells every single other one in its class, why is it a rare or premium car? It's not. It's just the image of the brand is a premium car. It's not at all rare. It's not at all something that's unobtainable, because clearly here we are. Fiesta's 1538, Audi A3's 1362. So that all outsold an Astra comprehensively. Don't know what to say, really. Lloyd Vehicle Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. So now is my favourite bit of the video, where we look at how each individual manufacturer is doing. It's actually good news for two brands at the top of the list. Abarth has actually had some new electric models appear. I've seen a few of them around. There's not many, but it's enough to give Abarth a 329% increase in its sales. So August 2022, 7, last month 30. Market share has gone from 0.01 to 0.04. Excellent. Alfa Romeo, another Stellantis brand, an increase, not as dramatic as Abarth, but nevertheless a nice increase, particularly in a month that, you know, it's still the old play. It's still on a 23 as opposed to a 73, but it's just come in. 90% increase, still below the general trend of the market, but quite good nevertheless. Market share has dropped very slightly from 0.09 to 0.08, but number of cars sold has gone from 59 to 70. That's just generally because of the general trend of the market, but that's still good. I like to see increases rather than decreases. Alpine, again, a really weird, a bit like Abarth. They've gone from 2 cars sold to 9, which is meant the figures are like 350% increase, but not very significant. They don't sell a lot of cars over here. Bentley, 42 to 44, not really significant in terms of anything. BMW, strangely, they've actually dropped a little bit. The market share has gone from 7% to 5.6. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,800 to 4,750, and that's a 2% decrease. BYD, nothing to compare it against. We'll skip over them. Citroën, another Stellantis brand, not doing quite so well though for some reason. 29% decrease, which is actually over the overall trend. So it's quite a significant decrease. And the market share appropriately has dropped from 3.5% to 2%. And number of cars sold has gone from 2,400 to 1,700. Cupra, by contrast, who sell a lot of electric cars as well as plug-in hybrids and everything else, they have gone from 1.2% of the market to 1.5. Number of cars sold has gone from 854 to 1284, and market share has increased by over 50%. Dacia, my test drive about Dacia Jogger, which would have been late June or July. It's been quite a popular video on the channel actually, that 2023 Jogger. They seem to have really bad supply issues for some reason. That's why when we took the car out and we got back, the salesman didn't really try to sell us anything. He kind of knew that they didn't have like very strict targets to sell cars, so they just can't get hold of them. Which is a shame, because Dacia makes some really good cars. That Jogger is a really good car, so is the Sandero and Sandero Stepway. See if we can get some more Dacias if actually we're allowed to drive them, but it's very hard to get hold of Dacia press cars in this country. It's very difficult. On a little channel like mine, we don't really hold the same sort of weight other ones do. So, you know, I suppose we might be lucky, we might not be. So number of cars sold has gone from 1,700 to 1,100, which is a 36% decrease, and the market share has gone from 2.5% to 1.3%. DS, 79% decrease, basically like their fellow makers at Citroën. I don't really see too many of these around. The number of cars sold has gone from 300 to 64. Market share slumped from 0.43 to 0.07. So yeah, not very good. Fiat, I don't know what it is about Fiat and why they've kind of suddenly had a huge boost. I don't really understand that, but maybe there's some new electric versions of the 500 out or something. They certainly haven't brought out anything entirely new for quite a while, actually. 53% increase. Market share's gone from 0.9 to 1.1. Number of cars sold 627 to 959. Ford, yeah, I don't know did we actually do Audi? We might have missed them. Yeah, we did miss Audi. I do apologise to you. 33% increase. 6.7% market share has gone to 7.1. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,600 to 6,100. Ford, by contrast, not actually that far ahead. They've gone from 6,000 cars to 7,400 cars. So 24% increase. So just keeping up with the market trend. And the market shares remain the same, about 8.7%. Genesis, barely worth registering on the chart, which is a shame because Genesis makes some wonderful cars. I've driven a couple of them, and they are just really, really good. I'd much rather have a Genesis than virtually anything else in that class, other than maybe a Volvo. But the Genesis ownership package is better than anyone. It's a 5-year warranty, 5 years free servicing, courtesy cars, all that sort of stuff, personal assistant. And the cars are fantastic as well. They're really good value, lots of technology, beige leather interior available to some of them, but nobody buys them just because of a badge on them, which is silly. Aura, that's the Aura Funky Cat, nothing to compare it against. Honda, 23% decrease. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,100 to 900, and the market share has gone from 1.6 to 1. Hyundai, 10% decrease. Not sure why they've got one of the cars in the top 10. The market share has gone from 6.6% to 4.8%. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,500 to 4,000. Ineos, number to compare it against. Oh, dropped my phone with the figures on it. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Jaguar, not good. Not good at all. In fact, one of the worst. Minus 43%. Market share has dropped from 0.9 to 0.4. Number of cars sold has gone from 610 to 348. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of years if they discontinue all the Jaguar models that they have and replace them with some new electric ones, which some of you will think is a massive shame. I certainly do. Kia, in contrast to Hyundai, which happens a lot of the time actually, Kia are doing pretty well. They have had a 27% increase. Market share has gone from 5.3 to 5.4%. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,700 to 4,700. Land Rover, better than Jaguar, but still not good. Minus 15%. Market share has dropped from 1.9 to 1.3. That's sort of rebranding amongst the various brands like Defender, Discovery, and Range Rover being completely separate brands. I don't know if that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, number of cars sold has gone from 1,325 to 1,131. Lexus, very good. Well, we'll see if I can try a modern Lexus, actually. Possibly might have to go one of those later this month. 136% increase. Number of cars sold 293 to 691. Market share has gone up from 0.4 to 0.8. That's better than Jaguar, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's about double the number of cars. Maserati, not really much to say, although the number of cars has almost doubled from 14 to 26. Maxus, no cars sold at all, so we'll skip them. Mazda makes some nice cars. It's very hard to get hold of them because their press officers don't really let you drive them, which is very strange. I just don't seem to want to give them any cars out. So if you go to an SMMT event, Mazda really aren't there. I suppose they sell themselves, but you know, never mind. 8.3% decrease. Number of cars sold has barely changed though, from about 1,200, 1,100. Or the market share has dropped from 1.8 to 1.3, for the simple reason that the market's up overall. Mercedes-Benz, this really weird agency model, which has caused them to not really be serious rivals to BMW and Audi anymore in the sales charts in this country, I think. But 12.6% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,200 to 3,600. And the market share, though, is slightly decreased from 4.7 to 4.3. MG, massive, massive improvement. What a surprise. Market share's gone from about 2% to about 3.9%. It's a 139% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,400 to 3,400. Outselling Nissan, Peugeot, Renault, Seat, almost Mercedes-Benz, and almost Skoda. What can I say? Mini, 12.6% decrease. Market share's gone from 2.3 to 1.6. Number of cars sold has not changed that much, though, 1,600 to 1,400. Nissan, 11% increase. Market shares has dropped because of the overall sales mix changing. 3.1% to 2.8%. Number of cars sold, 2,100 to 2,400. Peugeot, I think it's the best of the Stellantis brands that I've seen. Yeah, it is. 35% increase, 3.4% to 3.6% of the market. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,300 to 3,100. Polestar, 593% increase. I think that's the most we'll see on the chart this month. 0.17% of the market's gone to 0.95. Gosh, they're taken seriously, aren't they? So yeah, they've almost sold as many cars as Porsche. 118 to 818. Wow. Porsche, though, have had a nice increase as well, 146% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 432 to 1064, and the market share has gone up from 0.6 to 1.2. Renault, again, big increase. Don't know particularly why. Maybe it's that new Megane E-Tech that's come out. I don't know. Possibly. 158% increase. Market share's gone from 1.2 to 2.4. Number of cars sold 790 to 2,000. Seat used to be much bigger in this country. It didn't seem to be anymore. 96% increase though last month, which is good. 840 to 1,600. Market share's gone from 1.2 to 1.9. Yeah, it's not bad. Skoda though, comprehensively beating them as usual. Market share 3.7 to 4.4. It's a 46% increase. Yeah, the number of cars sold has gone from 2,500 to 3,700. Smart, really nothing to report at the moment. That hashtag one's not fully come onto mainstream sales, has it? SsangYong, not good. Not good at all. They have got a facelift of Tivoli coming out, I think next month. I'm sitting in a Tivoli right now, because we've had it for a good while now. Got it in, yeah, we've had it over 3 years now, this car. They will be changing their name, apparently, to KGM, not KG Mobility, which is what was rumoured, because that sounds like a wheelchair company or something. KGM, which would be fine, I think. But yeah, 58% decrease. Market are dropping from 0.12 to 0.04, and 83 versus 35 cars is not good. Subaru, a lot better, but still not massive. 41% increase. Market share has gone from 0.08 to 0.09. Number of cars sold has gone from 53 to 75. Suzuki, very good month for Suzuki. 156% increase. The market share has actually increased from 1 to 2%. Number of cars sold has gone from 700 to 1,800. Very good. Tesla, yeah, the boat has come in. 325% increase. Market share has gone from 1.4 to 4.7. A number of cars sold has gone from 946 to 4,000. Toyota, very strong. Not as strong as Volkswagen, but very strong. 10% decrease for some reason. Maybe that B4ZX thing or whatever it's called, which I always get confused about how to say it. I think Subaru went kind of right direction with naming their car the Solterra, which is the equivalent of a B4 ZX or whatever it's called. That's a better naming strategy in my opinion. But anyway, 4,600 to 4,100. That means a market share decrease of 6.6 to 4.8. Vauxhall, not too bad actually. 19.9% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,600 to 5,600, but the shares dropped slightly from 6.7 to 6.5. Volkswagen, biggest seller again this month, as predicted. 17% increase, so not massive. Not as much to keep, not enough to keep the market, unfortunately. But market share has dropped very slightly from 10.3 to 9.7. Number of cars sold has gone from 7,100 to 8,300. Volvo, yes, Volvo Owners Club member as well. 119% increase. Market share has gone from 1.1 to 1.9. Number of cars sold has gone from 753 to 1650. I wonder if that EX90 is any good, the one we just brought out. It's very expensive though. So overall, number of cars sold has gone up from 69,000 approximately to 86,000, which is good. I mean, the figures for September are going to be quite interesting to see, I think. If they can maintain a 24.4% increase on last year, then that'll be very good. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more incredibly boring statistics.